kiss my son, then go get it. Top floor, top dog, like I just signed a TDE. Gang, 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 know we all gotta eat. Up late, bills due, rent due, I ain't been asleep. Looking in the mirror, all I see is everything that I wanted to be. My city depended on me, that's on G.O.D. Grew up watching my mom become what daddy couldn't be. I ball like MLB, these Bottega boots ain't cheap. My car ain't got no key, I push the start to start my week. I'm in this photo, pour so photogenic. All I know is to go get it. Shoot my shot, now I ain't gon' miss it. All I know is to go get it. All my life I've been a go-getter. All I know is to go get it. Wake up in the morning, kiss my son, then go get it. Go get it. Go get it. Photo, pour so photogenic. All my life I've been a go-getter. Wake up in the morning, kiss my son, then go get it. Pour so photogenic. All I know is to go get it. Shoot my shot, now I ain't gon' miss it. All I know is to go get it. All my life I've been a go-getter. All I know is to go get it. Wake up in the morning, kiss my son, then go get it. Go get it. Go get it. Photo, pour so photogenic. All my life I've been a go-getter. Wake up in the morning, kiss my son, then go get it.
Madden football is the home of Super Bowl 57, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the New Orleans Saints and the Dallas Cowboys, and it's coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here between the New Orleans Saints taking on another NFC team in the Dallas Cowboys. And hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that could have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
Here's Will Lutz ready to get this one started. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. From the 10. And able to get this out to the 25. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be commanded by their 6'3" quarterback from Central Michigan, Cooper Rush.
As we begin the Super Bowl, we are looking at one of the game's most important players. And whether he's the centerpiece of the offense or taking a backseat to his teammates, offenses always look to the quarterback to be a leader in moments like this. He's got to be that calm, composed pillar out there who stays level-headed and keeps everyone focused on the task at hand.
And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. They start on the ground with Elliott. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
On the move past the 40. Touchdown, Cowboys! C.D. Lamb with a first touchdown of the Super Bowl and a long one at that. And the Cowboys are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. So a long play for our first points in the Super Bowl.
No doubt about it, and what we see here is something that we saw all year long from them. The ability to strike from anywhere on the field. How about the way they get us started in this one?
Brett Maher on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it's finished off by the touchdown from C.D. Lamb. Following the touchdown, here's Maher to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now here come the Saints about to begin their first possession. And the man in charge of this offense, his 8th season now in the NFL, former #1 pick, Jameis Winston.
When he was the #1 overall pick back in 2015, we certainly envisioned Jameis Winston eventually leading a team onto the field on Super Bowl Sunday. He has helped New Orleans remain competitive in the years after Drew Brees and avoid any kind of a rebuild. Now he's trying to match Brees with a Super Bowl title of his own.
Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Now Winston, forced out to, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And the #1 mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
And this came from the interior of the defensive line, and these guys, they're normally anchors of that spot, and they don't often get clear shots at the quarterback. But in this case, he got past the center and the guard in no time and got there to make the play.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, here's Kamara. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. An ideal start defensively. They already have the touchdown. Now they get the stop.
Just like they drew it up on the chalkboard. Does that sound dated? Right? Am I out of touch a little bit?
It's all right.
All right, grease board, heck, computer, exactly what you want done. Score on your first drive, stop them on the first drive defensively.
Open man is Michael Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Hey, nothing to see here, just your standard 4th down gain of 28 yards. And the drive keeps going.
Brandon, I have one word for you after that completion for a first down.
Lucky?
Analytics.
Well, the analytics say punt the football there.
So we're changing to analytics as we go, right? What a big-time play for them, and really took a big-time chance.
Yeah, big-time first half chance. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he is going to lose yardage here. It was Anthony Barr that time who got in there and made the play.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Dorrance Armstrong in there to bury him for a loss of 11. So now make that a 2nd sack for them on this drive.
And Brandon, we hear it every week when we go out to do a game. Everyone talks about playing complementary football. Their offense goes down and scores. They see that, and they want to back them up, and that they did, getting 2 sacks on this first drive.
So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
That's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
Blake Gillikin on the punt now on 4th down. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Dallas offense set for this next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
A big hitter to start the drive has them up near midfield here for 1st and 10. But now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. Rush. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass in the 1st drive. It comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that.
Entering settings screen, you have 20 options. Menu narration option is set to off is selected. Entering settings screen, you have 20 options. Menu narration option is set to off is selected.
This is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And good field position coming up here. The football at the 12-yard line. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them.
They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints will take over here at their own 12-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play would be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point Is this a spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
To throw again on 2nd down. Winston. And Jameis is going to go down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety.
Every team has plays in their book to try and buy some room when a safety's on the table. But a big variable is how does each team deal with the pressure of executing in those situations. In this case, they didn't, and they gave up 2 points.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now.
One quarter done, 3 more to play here in Super Bowl 57.
The Cowboys out in front early. The NFL on EA Sports continues right after this message.
And we are back. Biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl, and both teams ready for the start of the 2nd quarter.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
They'll start in excellent field position following the INT.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Back to throw, Rush.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
P.J. Williams with a pick. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
Personal foul, roughing the tackle, defense.
Wow, so wipe out the INT roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
Inside give to Elliott. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
At the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Throwing here, Rush. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Running with Elliott, and he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. Ezekiel Elliott not able to get it past the marker, and the Saints will have the football back. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop him short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Defensive end, DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
Again, it's Kamara. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Winston to give. It's Kamara. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll try to throw now. Winston. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Kamara up the middle. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. DeMarcus Lawrence. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
But Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
So now after the sack, Winston and the Saints needing to figure out what to do. Tough play, 3rd and long.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. 4th down, Winston. Going deep here for Landry. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over.
We have reached the 2-minute warning. In fact, just under 2 minutes to play in the opening half of this year's Super Bowl.
A first down carry by Elliott. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. They go to Elliott again. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Now Rush. And that is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Brett Maher now for the Cowboy field goal. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. The kick by Maher is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps, and the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
After the made field goal, Maher back out there to kick it away. And from the end zone, Deontay Hardy will bring it out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. And now the Saints get set to trot out there.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated. No doubt about it, a really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Jameis to throw it. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Here we go with Kamara. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. So shall we say a bold decision to go for it, and that bold decision does not pay off.
And when you talk about bold, you're saying all caps?
All caps.
Yeah, without a doubt. Maybe they're telling their defense they have a lot of faith in them. I mean, that's how you have to spin it, is that you tell your defense, you know something? We were able to go for it there because you guys are so good. I'm not worried about things. That's the only explanation I can come up with in this situation.
He better get ready to spin it for that post-game presser because you know he's going to be in.
He's going to have to spin it for his own locker room, frankly.
Sliding out of the pocket. Touchdown! Michael Gallup as the first half is winding down. And the Cowboys continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl.
So remember now, this was all set up by the stop defensively on 4th down. That's what got him this great field position. And then 2 plays later, they're already in the end zone.
Yeah, partner, funny how it works like that, huh? That's a momentum swing amusement park style. Your defense comes off the field, bouncing, grooving, they're fired up. And it carries over to the other side of the ball.
Marr now to add the extra point. And that one makes this a 19-point game. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In clutch territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. First things first, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Saints. And not much went right in those first 2 quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they had a little bit more success on the ground than their opponents did. And that should set them up well for the second half to come. Both teams finishing up their halftime adjustments. We're about ready to get back to football at State Farm Stadium. And for the call, let's head back out to Glendale and hand it over to Brandon Gaud.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. These 2 teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line.
And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. And right now, their chances of hoisting that Lombardi trophy not looking too great, but perhaps that long halftime, maybe it did them a world of good.
But if there's ever a chance to regroup, it's in this game, right? Because you do have that long halftime, a chance to really assess things and maybe make some changes and true adjustments. They played great all year long. That was the worst first half of the season for them. They're hoping to put it behind them and come out punching here in the second half.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. And now we're going to get a delay of game. And that's going to back him up halfway.
Delay of game.
They're inching closer and closer here to the wrong goal line.
When you're backed up like that, all you're trying to do is make sure you don't give up a big play, right? You don't miss an assignment that really gets you into more trouble.
Running the jet sweep, Landry. And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. And this defense continues to dominate. How about two safeties in one game here?
You don't even put that on your goal sheet. This is something that results when you're playing really well on defense and the offense has nowhere to go with the football. Dominating performance.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And I would imagine this is where you have to take stock of the situation, CD, and say, gosh, we're halfway to the Lombardi trophy. Let's not slow down now.
And I like the way you went there. Let's not slow down now, because the first half certainly went their way. And I would expect them to continue with that type of a game plan. But you're right. You do think back to Super Bowl 54. 49ers had a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter, couldn't hold on. So plenty can still happen.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Again, it's Elliott. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. To throw is Rush. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused.
And he's taken down here by the Saints. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop it. It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play. Just someone that I could dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Rush to throw. He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The New Orleans offense set to take over. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And they're going to stop it right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Defensively, they have that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
On the end around, this is Thomas. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. Fakes a spike under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though. And they could barely...
Looking for Landry, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Off play action, rush. Gonna take a shot for Gallup. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Michael Gallup, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Cowboys are starting to open things up here in this Super Bowl. So they're able to capitalize there on the short field, and that might prove to be the score that turns out the lights.
The party's over. Oh, sorry about that. That's an old reference there, folks. But, yeah, they've been the better of the 2 teams by far, and that's great complimentary football right there. Defense gets the turnover, sets up the short field, and the offense goes right out and scores to open up a pretty sizable lead.
They'll let Elliott try and run it in. And he is going to be stopped short of the goal line. Oh, they'll mark him inside the 1. He just couldn't keep churning those extra few inches. And the 2-point attempt is turned aside. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. Taking it about the 1. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home?
And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Micah Parsons. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Up the middle, here's Elliott. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Open man Lamb, it's complete. Touchdown, Cowboys! CeeDee Lamb, his 2nd touchdown of the Super Bowl. And the Cowboys are starting to pour it on at the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl. For the extra point. And he pushed it right. It's no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Second and 12. Running the jet sweep, Landry. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. 2 yards the loss there. Now 3rd and 14.
That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
Just 1 more quarter remains in the season-long race for the Lombardi Trophy here at Super Bowl 57 from Glendale.
We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
And we're back in the Super Bowl. Time to decide who gets to hoist that Lombardi Trophy as we begin the 4th and final quarter of action.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. So a risky move that does not pay off. And Charles, you take it from the defensive perspective, they had to be a little offended there that they even tried to go for it back inside their own 20.
Highly offended. And they took the ball away and gave it to their offense in a great situation. But when you look at this thing in total, when you start taking chances like that, you know what that means? You have to take more chances later, right? When you don't convert, that just means you got to double down on it. So we can see this thing pile up as we go on. Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
From the 16, rush. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Well, up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That passing incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They can continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a fourth down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to small up the ball carrier.
And it bangs off the right upright, no good. But that's just a minor blip here in what's been a thoroughly dominating performance. And no mistaking that sound. It reverberated through the whole stadium.
And it's the sound Brandon no kicker wants to hear. It looked like he had it on target the whole way, but the upright said,
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
On the ground with a tight end. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, it's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Finding Taysom Hill complete. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. He gets it to Thomas. And he is going to have the Saints first down. It's a gain of 12 on 4th. Winston. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. A lot of effort there for just a 3-yard gain, and now 2nd down. Play action now, Winston. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. To the air again with Winston. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they got this game in the bag with this huge lead, and it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances, and that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. The New Orleans offense set to take over. Those Super Bowl hopes that they had really dwindling now here in the 4th quarter. That NFC crown that they got 2 weeks ago seems like a distant memory as they have been outplayed tonight. on the ground with Kamara. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line.
Drop for a loss there on a nice effort by Osa Odighizuwa.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Winston. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding. Offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. 3rd and long for Winston.
There's Chris Olave.
It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. And my goodness, another interception. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Off the play fake. Rush. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. So on 4th down, on comes the Dallas kicker, Brett Maher. It'll be a 47-yard attempt from the left hash. Oh, it's no good. Maher pushed it right, but that shouldn't matter a great deal as they still lead by a bundle here. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And the Cowboys are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. That one looks like he'll throw here. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Again to Elliott. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40.
Holding. Offense.
Flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Back to throw. Rush. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. And now that brings up 4th down there. A loss of 6 yards on the sack.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
39 yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Off the play fake, Winston. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Staying on the ground on 1st with Kamara. And he'll get a few yards here to the 34. And the Dallas Cowboys will hoist the Lombardi Trophy. They are the kings of the NFL. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.